Thank you for listening to Wellness Wednesday today, brought to you by Vitality Unlimited, Vitality Integrated Program Services. Today we're featuring foster care recruiter who specializes in rural Nevada for the Nevada Department of Human Services, Division of Child and Family Services, Perla Landa-Munoz. Perla, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be speaking to you today.
Well, we are very excited that you are in this position. You're going to help us get some foster families for rural Nevada children. Would you mind just telling us a little about yourself and what you do with Division of Child and Family Services?
Absolutely. So I just been in this position a couple of months, and I am just loving it so far. Like you said, I'm with the Division of Child and Family Services, and I work on our licensing team. So as the recruiter, my job is to go out into our rural communities and just talk about what it's like to be a foster family and why it's so needed. And so, yeah, I'm having a great time with it so far.
Well, thank you, Perla. It is important that we have licensed foster families in rural Nevada in particular, right? If you wouldn't mind telling us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually grew up in the rurals here in northern Nevada, and I understand that the culture is different than it is in Washoe and Clark County. Resources are limited, and we really think of our foster families as a resource. And so in these smaller towns, we have a lot of counties that don't even have any foster families in them, meaning that when a child is removed from their home for whatever reason that may be, they are often taken to another town away from everything they've known, away from their family, away from their school, their friends, their teachers. So if we can get more foster families in more communities, that kind of makes it easier for reunification when that's possible.
Well, Perla, we're so fortunate that you're in this position. Perla Landa-Munoz is our guest today. She is a recruiter for rural Nevada foster care. And Perla, what are some of the reasons that children come into foster care, if you wouldn't mind talking about that?
Absolutely. Kids come into our care for a variety of reasons. When it's found by a court of law that kids have been either abused or neglected in the home, that's when a child comes into foster care. When it's possible, our division tries to place children with trusted family members or friends, but sometimes that's just not possible, and that's when foster homes are needed.
And so for parents or prospective fostering parents listening, what are some of the requirements to foster in rural Nevada?
Yeah, absolutely. So our basic requirements, we need to be at least 21 years old, and we need to be able to demonstrate financial stability to meet household needs. There are some more requirements such as background checks that we can kind of discuss on a case-by-case basis.
And then are there different types of foster care licenses, Perla?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a need for all types of different foster homes. We have short-term foster families, and that's going to be less than 6 months. And then we have longer-term foster homes, which is longer than 6 months. And then we have what is called respite care. And so our respite foster family homes help us if a child's regular foster family needs a break for a variety of reasons, such as they're going on vacations or they have a family emergency or they just need a break. Then our respite foster family homes are there to help.
Sounds like some great ways to step in and help the children in our communities. So, Perla, we've been learning today about how desperate the need is for licensed foster families in rural Nevada. And hopefully, we've convinced a few folks to look into this because we really need more foster families so children can stay close to home. And it is important that they be fostered locally if possible. Isn't that right?
Absolutely, yes.
So what are the basic steps, would you say, to fostering in rural Nevada? How can folks get started?
So to get started, we refer all of our prospective families to ruralnvfostercare.com. If you visit our site there is a link on that home page where it will say Get Started. That will take you to begin an online registration. So you will create an account and submit an inquiry with some basic information about yourself and your home and why you are wanting to become a foster parent. From then, I will take it from there. I'll reach out to you and we will schedule a time to go over some more information and also take some time to answer any questions you may have. I understand that it's a big undertaking. It's a lot of responsibility, so I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have about the process. If from then you decide to proceed in this journey, we will refer you to our what we call pre-service training. And our pre-service training, the way it's structured, we hold them every 8 weeks. We start a new session. So our next training starts on February the 25th. And the way that they are structured, they're Wednesday nights from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. held over an online meeting.
Oh, that sounds super convenient, Perla. And of course, there's no obligation to just start the process, find out if you have, what it takes, and then obviously ask any questions you might have. Perla, you've really given us some great information today about fostering, especially in rural Nevada. And if for any reason people would love to help foster kids, but they can't open up their homes just now, are there any other ways that they can help?
Yeah, of course. So I always say that our community is our biggest resource, just word of mouth, talking to other people, your neighbors, people in your churches about why foster homes are so desperately needed in our rural towns is a huge help to us. Other ways that you can help, if you belong to any type of organization, community group, church, school district, you can reach out to me if you would like to host or sponsor a recruitment event. I would love to come out there and talk about the need. If you own a business, you can also contact me if you would like to put flyers or brochures out.
Perla, that sounds great. Lots of ways that you can help to perpetuate this important mission, of course, fostering children in rural Nevada. I guess finally, you do have a virtual foster parent training session coming up you'd like folks to know about?
We do, yeah. So like we talked about before, all of our trainings are virtual. It's a really great training environment. And those are done over Microsoft Teams after work hours, so Wednesdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And if you'd like any more information on that, you can reach out to me.
Perla, thank you so much. The best way to reach you?
My phone number here is 888-423-2659. Again, 888-423-2659. You can also go on our website, again, ruralnvfostercare.com, and on the contact page, you can submit your contact information there, and I will be in touch with you.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Perla, for your time today. She's a foster care recruiter for rural Nevada through the Division of Child and Family Services. Thank you, Perla.
Thank you.